If you're too busy to cook, you're not failing at healthy eating, you're living in the modern world. Long work hours, commuting, caregiving, and constant mental load mean that many people simply don't have the time or energy to prepare meals from scratch every day. Health authorities understand this reality, and their recommendations reflect it far more than most diet advice you see online. One of the biggest misconceptions about healthy eating is that it requires daily home cooking, elaborate meal prep, or perfect discipline. That idea alone causes many people to give up before they start. In reality, global health guidance is designed for real lives, not ideal ones. The goal is not to cook everything yourself, but to make reasonable choices within your constraints. Health authorities like the World Health Organization focus on patterns, not perfection. If you're busy, the most important question is not whether you cooked the meal, but what the meal is mostly made of. A simple, balanced meal assembled quickly can support health just as effectively as something homemade from scratch. One of the clearest recommendations is to reduce reliance on ultra-processed foods as daily defaults, even when time is limited. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be fast and convenient, but they often lack fiber, promote overeating, and disrupt appetite regulation. The issue is not eating them occasionally, but letting them replace real meals most of the time. Being busy does not mean you must eat poorly. Health authorities encourage people to look for minimally processed convenience options. These include pre-washed vegetables, frozen produce, canned beans, ready-to-eat proteins like eggs, tofu, yogurt, rotisserie chicken, or simple takeaway meals built around real ingredients. These options exist precisely to bridge the gap between time pressure and nutrition. Harvard Medical School often emphasizes that a healthy meal does not need to be complex. A meal made from a few components, a protein source, some plant foods, and a source of carbohydrates or healthy fats, already aligns with evidence-based guidance. This can be assembled in minutes without cooking skills. Another important recommendation is planning at the level of defaults, not daily decisions. When people are tired and busy, willpower is low. Health authorities suggest making the healthier option the easier option ahead of time. This might mean keeping certain foods on hand, choosing familiar takeaway orders that are reasonably balanced, or repeating simple meals that work. For people who rely on eating out or delivery, guidance focuses on patterns across the week, not judging individual meals. One takeaway meal does not define health. What matters is whether most meals, over time, include vegetables, adequate protein, and reasonable portions. Balance does not need to happen at every meal to be effective. Health authorities also recognize that skipping meals because of busyness often backfires. When people undereat during the day, they are more likely to overeat later, choose highly processed foods, or experience low energy and poor concentration. Regular nourishment is part of healthy eating, even when time is limited. This is why experts recommend satisfying meals, not just low-calorie ones. Meals with enough protein and fiber tend to keep people full longer and reduce the need for constant snacking. Eating enough earlier in the day often makes evenings calmer and food choices easier. Another key point is that cooking does not have to mean traditional cooking. Assembling a meal counts. Heating something simple counts. Combining ready-to-eat ingredients counts. Health authorities are far more concerned with nutritional quality than with how the food was prepared. There is also growing emphasis on reducing decision fatigue. When every meal feels like a choice you have to get right, eating becomes stressful. Repeating a few reliable options is not boring, it's efficient. Many healthy eating patterns around the world are built on repetition, not variety for its own sake. Importantly, health authorities do not recommend strict rules for busy people. Rules like never eat packaged food or always cook fresh are unrealistic and unsustainable. Instead, the guidance is flexible. Eat the best you can within your reality, most of the time. This perspective also removes guilt. Eating something convenient is not a moral failure. Health outcomes are shaped by long-term habits, not individual compromises. When people stop aiming for perfection, they are more likely to maintain healthier patterns overall. The WHO also recognizes that food environments matter. Busy schedules are often paired with limited access, time pressure, and fatigue. Expecting ideal choices in these conditions is unrealistic. This is why modern nutrition guidance is shifting away from individual blame and toward practical strategies. What does all this mean in everyday life? It means choosing foods that resemble real ingredients when possible, even if they're pre-prepared. It means eating regularly enough to avoid extreme hunger. It means not letting convenience automatically equal ultra-processed. And it means accepting that good enough, repeated consistently, beats perfect once in a while. Healthy eating for busy people is not about doing more. It's about simplifying, prioritizing, and removing unnecessary pressure. When meals are simple and satisfying, health improves quietly in the background. In a world where time is limited and demands are high, health authorities offer a grounded message. You don't need to cook like a chef to eat well. You need patterns that work when life is full. If you want more clear, science-based explanations that fit real schedules and real lives, feel free to follow along. Healthy eating doesn't start when life slows down. It starts when guidance finally matches reality.